Stop buying outdated European rigs just because your grandfather shot one and you think the brand name means something. You think PCP air rifles are just overpriced toys for your backyard? You have never seen the hardware hit in the woods in 2026. Look, I get it. The traditional firearm guys look at an air cylinder and laugh. But while they are crying over the price of centerfire ammunition and dealing with blown-out eardrums, a new breed of hunters is quietly dominating the field. We are talking about sub-$800 platforms, packing externally adjustable regulators, massive 55 cubic centimeters power plenums, and heavy slug-slinging capabilities that can absolutely neutralize mid-sized game at 100 yards. The budget market has evolved into an absolute powerhouse, and the elitists are terrified. These are the 7 best new budget PCP air rifles dominating the hunting scene right now. Kicking off our list at number 7 is the Gamo Arrow. Street price is right around $200 to $300, making it one of the most accessible entry points into the pre-charged pneumatic world. Spitting 22 lead downrange, this rig is built for pure utility and speed. Instead of the usual side lever, you get an ambidextrous straight-pull charging handle located right at the rear of the action. Pulling that handle back feels incredibly fast, letting you cycle the 10-shot rotary magazine without ever taking your eye off the optic. Under the hood, the standard Polymer model runs on 128 cubic centimeters of air capacity. It does not use a regulator, but relies on a highly efficient internal valve strike mechanism that maximizes the sweet spot of the power curve, giving you up to 60 consistent shots per fill before the pressure drops too low. Squeezing the trigger snaps like a fragile icicle breaking in half. Releasing that air through the Whisper Fusion, dual integrated sound moderator, strips away the turbulent air behind the pellet. It sounds like a heavy textbook dropping on a carpeted floor. Completely backyard friendly for taking down pests without alerting the neighbors. Stepping up to the Magnum version gets you a handsome beechwood stock and a slightly larger 140C CS air tube. Pushing lightweight pellets up to 1,200 feet per second, it delivers nearly 30 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. That is plenty of striking power to neutralize small game at 40 yards. Weighing in at roughly 7.5 pounds, it shoulders naturally and carries well on long walks through the woods. Sound off below if you have ever successfully deployed a Micro-Carbine on a spot and stalk hunt. Stepping up the utility factor, coming in at number 6 is the Umarex Notos. Sets you back right around $250 to $280. Throws 22 caliber pellets downrange from a package that weighs an impossibly light 4 pounds. It is a hybrid pistol carbine design with a collapsible stock that you can swing onto a target faster than you can blink. Finding a regulated action at this price point used to be a pipe dream, but the Notos changes the game. It utilizes a highly consistent integrated regulator sitting between the main high-pressure tube and the firing valve. This mechanism dictates that only a precise, fixed pressure reaches the valve for every single shot. Because of this, your velocity stays completely flat, meaning your point of impact at 40 yards will not shift up or down as the main tank pressure drops. Reaching the end of the trigger pull feels like snapping a dry pine needle. Thanks to the fully shrouded barrel and internal baffles, the firing cycle sounds like a heavy staple gun driving into soft wood. It is extremely quiet, making it the ultimate tool to dispatch barn rats or starlings without waking up the whole property. You get a solid 18 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, which is perfect for short-range pest control. Honestly, the major drawback here is the tiny air reservoir. It is a thirsty little rig with a very limited capacity. You are only going to get about 3 rotary magazines, around 21 shots, before that regulator falls off pressure and you have to hook back up to your hand pump or compressor. If you are planning an all-day hunt far from your vehicle, you're going to be severely hurting for air. Now we get into the serious hunting rigs. Sitting solidly at number 5 is the Snowpeak T-Rex. The damage to your wallet is under $500. It is a compact bullpup configuration that is absolutely perfect for swinging around inside a cramped hunting blind or hiking through thick brush. Pushes 25 cal lead with serious authority. The magic here is the oversized transfer port alignment. By perfectly matching the exhaust valve to the barrel port, it allows a massive, unrestricted blast of air from the 230 cubic centimeters reservoir to slam directly behind the slug. This efficiency pushes heavy rounds up to 30 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. You will get about 30 consistent shots per fill before the regulator drops off. Reaching the second stage of the trigger rolls off like a heavy glass marble dropping off a table. The bark from the 480 millimeter shrouded barrel sounds like a framing hammer hitting a solid oak beam. It is not the quietest rig on the list, but the raw knockdown power on mid-sized game is undeniable. But let's be real. The ergonomics of adjusting this gun will make you want to pull your hair out. Tearing into the action to tune the regulator requires dismantling the entire back half of the rifle. It is not something you can just tweak in the field with a wrench. You have to set it on the bench at home and live with it in the woods. Weighing in at over 8 pounds, it is also a bit of a heavy brick. This bullpup is a beast for the brush, but wait until you see the absolute slug-slinging monster at number 1. Stepping up the precision capabilities, sitting at number 4 is the Venturi Avenger. Street price is right around $400. Spits 22 caliber lead with absolute authority. This rig completely changed the game for guys who like to tinker and find the absolute perfect tune for their specific hunting ammo. Weighing in at just over 7 pounds in the synthetic stock version, it is incredibly easy to carry all day when you are tracking small game. The secret sauce here is the externally adjustable hammer spring tension paired with the outside adjustable regulator. By turning a simple dial on the back of the action, you increase or decrease how hard the hammer strikes the valve stem. This lets you dial in the exact air release needed to push heavy slugs at 1,000 feet per second, or back it down to conserve air for lightweight pellets. You can tune this rifle to push over 28 foot-pounds of kinetic energy without ever taking the stock off. Pressing through the trigger brake feels like snapping a crisp carrot in half. The report from the muzzle sounds like a thick leather belt slapping a solid wooden workbench. It gives you over 40 consistent shots per fill, keeping you in the woods longer to neutralize more pests. Listen, the adjustability is incredible, but getting this gun fully dialed will actually drain your wallet in hidden costs. The factory synthetic stock feels cheap, which immediately pushes you to buy the expensive aftermarket chassis or wood stock upgrades. Plus, you will burn through a small fortune in different weights of premium ammo just trying to find that perfect harmonic sweet spot. Entering the elite tier, sitting firmly at number 3 is the JTS Airacuda Max. Sets you back anywhere from $419 to $549, depending on whether you grab that classic wood thumbhole stock or the fully adjustable PRS aluminum chassis. Throws 22 caliber pellets downrange with surgical precision, pushing them at 920 feet per second to generate a solid 30 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. The real advantage here is the optimized twist rate hidden inside the barrel. By matching the rotational spin perfectly to mid-weight hunting pellets, it stabilizes the projectile much faster upon exiting the muzzle. This prevents any aerodynamic tumbling and keeps your groups incredibly tight, making this rig an absolute tack driver when you need to neutralize pests at 75 yards. Working your way through the trigger wall feels exactly like crushing a delicate eggshell under your thumb. When it fires, the report sounds like a heavy rubber mallet striking a wet log. It is a very solid, muted thud that will not send every target in the woods running for cover. But here is the truth. The build quality on the internals has a glaring weak point. The factory O-rings seated inside the breech are notoriously fragile. They wear out way too fast under high pressure, meaning you will inevitably find yourself leaking air and forced to tear the gun down to rebuild the seal much sooner than you should have to. Closer to the crown, locking in the number 2 spot is the Macavity MA3. The damage to your wallet comes in right at 749, pushes 30 cal slugs out of the muzzle with serious authority. This rig brings competition-grade craftsmanship to the hunting woods, weighing in at just over 7 pounds in a beautiful beechwood thumbhole stock. The real standout feature here is the massive 55 CCS power pleaner. By utilizing a huge secondary air chamber between the main tank and the firing valve, it provides an enormous reserve of perfectly regulated air for every single shot. This guarantees that heavy hunting projectiles are driven forward with zero pressure starvation during the valve dwell time. It allows this rifle to easily eclipse 35 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, generating over 40 clean shots per fill. Rolling through the trigger brake feels exactly like snapping a thick piece of classroom chalk. When the hammer drops, the integrated moderator strips the blast down to a dull thud. It sounds like a heavy car door slamming shut a block away. The linear free adjustable regulator lets you tune it externally from 600 all the way to 3200 PSI without ever bleeding the main tank. But let's be real, this gun has a serious performance quirk you need to know about. It is an absolute nightmare if you try to feed it lightweight pellets. The aggressive barrel twist completely overstabilizes light ammo, throwing your shots into wide, messy groups. If you are not willing to shell out for premium heavy slugs, you will never see the true accuracy this rig can deliver. Listen, we have looked at some incredible hardware today. Some platforms give you massive shot counts, while others are built to sling heavy lead from the bench. But when you need the absolute pinnacle of budget hunting performance, the true crown jewel of 2026 is the Umarex Zelos. Sets you back right around $599, spits 22 cal lead with devastating precision. This Bullpup manages to hide a massive 26-inch barrel inside a tiny 36-inch overall footprint. Weighing in at just under 7 pounds, it handles like an absolute dream in the deep woods when you are tracking game. It utilizes a highly tuned balanced valve mechanism. By equalizing the immense pressure on both sides of the internal valve stem, it allows a very light hammer strike to open the valve fully, even when the 250 cubic centimeters tube is filled to its maximum 3,600 pounds per square inch. This extreme efficiency is what lets this rig push heavy hunting ammo to over 40 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, while still giving you up to 50 consistent shots per fill. It gives you the massive shot capacity of the Gamo arrow, but with an externally adjustable regulator system that puts the Snowpeak T-Rex to shame, because you never have to dismantle the action to tune it for different environments. Pulling through the trigger wall feels like snapping a crisp celery stalk in half. When that air dumps, the shrouded barrel muffles the blast, so it sounds like a thick phone book hitting a hardwood floor. It is the undisputed king of the budget hunting market. The days of needing a $2,000 European import to take down game at 50 yards are completely dead. The hardware we just walked through proves that the budget market is completely dominating the hunting scene in 2026. You are getting heavy slug stability, huge power plenums, and tunable regulators for a fraction of the cost. The technology is here, and it is accessible. Stop making excuses. Stop reading the high-end marketing brochures and start putting together a rig that actually works in the deep woods. Do the work, get the gear, own the range,